Hello, and welcome to 5 Minute Math. Today we are looking at the sixth grade concept of representing additive and multiplicative relationships. This is standard 6.6c in the great state of Texas, and we are using item number 8, the 2025 released STAAR test. This is a new item type called drag and drop. If you haven't done so already, please go ahead and take a moment to pause the video, work this problem out on your own, unpause it, and we will look at our answers together. So we've got two different equations we need to fill in, and we can drag and drop them. And you notice that we can put any of these into any of these boxes. This is a 2-point problem. And if for some reason we only select one and try to move on, it is going to give us an error message. So we've got a table, we've got a graph. Let's go ahead and figure out which of these best represent each of these representations. Let's start with our table first. All right, so we're looking at the relationship here between x and y. Okay, and so when we go from x to y, notice that we are getting smaller. Okay, so we're looking for, what could our rule be? Well, it could be a -6, could be a divide by 4, right? 8 minus 6 makes 2, 8 divided by 4 makes 2. You always have to test it against multiple. So let's see, does 12 minus 6 work? No, that'd be a -9, so this is going to be divided by 4. 16 divided by 4 would work. And then 24 divided by 4 makes 6. Yes, so you're always wanting to look between the two variables, x and y, side to side. So it looks like we're going to divide by 4. Now, how would we write this? Because there's no divide by 4 rule out there. Well, we've got a few options, and I'll write them over here. We would want to say y equals, and then what are we doing to our independent variable, right? We are doing x and then divided by 4. We can also say 1/4 x, remember dividing by 4, multiplying by the reciprocal, 1 over 4, is the same thing. And so we could say, for example, like we could take 6. We could say 6 equals 1/4 of 24 if we want to, or we can say 6 equals 24 divided by 4. Either of those work. You just want to make sure that you plug it in. So now let's look. These are my two options here. Y equals 2x, y minus 6. See, y minus 6, that was that first one that we thought up there. X equals, oh, look, they flip these. Look at that. X equals 1/4 y. It needs to be y equals 1/4 x. X does not equals 1/4 I. X equals 4 times y in that case. So I see, here we go. This is another way to represent it. So I didn't list this, but y equals x over 4. It's the same thing as x divided by 4, which is the same thing as 1/4 times x. So all three of these are the same way to represent it. So that's going to be our first right there. Now, on the second one, let's go ahead and make a few. Let's reset this. Let's go ahead and make some XY table. That's going to be a little bit easier for me. So I've got 0, 0. I've got x of 1, y of 2, x of 2, y of 4, x of 3, y of 6. All right, so that's this right here. Same thing. You can't really tell much from that first one. I could add 0, subtract 0, multiply by 0. Can't divide by 0. So let's check our second row. You can either add 1 or multiply by 2. Adding 1 doesn't work on that third row. You'd have to add 2, so you could do multiply by 2, and you could do multiply by 2. Okay, so that would work for each of these. So you can say y equals, always write it in that y equals, because y is going to be our dependent variable. So write it in terms of y. Y equals, what are we doing to x? Well, we're taking x, and then we are multiplying it by 2. You could write it like this, y equals 2x. If you need to, you can even write, parentheses. The parentheses aren't necessarily needed, not when you have variables. And we see this y equals 2x right up there. And so that is going to be our answer for our second one. So we've got 2 points on this problem, one for each one, and these are the two answers.